Well, the ones I had basically were overused. They were exactly the same ones from season 5 all the time.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can grab one. Oh, here.
Very.
Berries! Alright. Alright, so now that we got the key, alright, now we can do some important stuff, like this one. And alright, like I said. Alright, so...
I still can't get enough of that story where basically I had two options. I was a kid. I went to Specs and songs from the station, and the early years were next to each other. The early years was right there. It was right there in front of me, but I ended up choosing songs from the station.
You did. You definitely did and such.
And actually, now that I remember, it came with the Silver Percy. You remember that Silver Percy from?
Okay. Pretty much which one? The songs at the station.
Yeah. You remember that Silver Wooden Railway Percy? Yeah, mine came with the Silver Percy.
Yes, pretty much. That was the same thing with my. That was the same thing with my VHS copy of pretty much of a song from the station. My copy also came with like pretty much with a Silver Percy as well.
I also did have the Golden Thomas, but I lost that Golden Thomas. God, if I still had it, that would have been one of my most valuable toys ever.
It definitely would have. Yeah, because if I remember correctly and everything, like pretty much like Song from the Station was another like DVD to where. Pretty much was another like home media release made to like celebrate the 60th anniversary of like the franchise and such.
Yeah, it was, and I will say though, I enjoyed it because I'm a music guy, but I will say this: it was kind of a lackluster release, in my opinion.
I do understand where you're coming from because, like I said, like when we were talking about this as well too, privately and everything. I pretty much like when you get down to it, Song from the Station is just basically like his own version of like pretty much like both stories. They're both pretty much it's his own version of like both like sing-alongs and stories and trackside tunes and such.
And honestly, they did a good job, because most of the songs were great.
Yeah, they were like pretty much all the songs are just basically like. The season 8 songs and everything that basically we've come to know and love over the years and such.
And honestly, I considering the episodes that were present on that DVD, I'll take the songs out of those episodes.
Yeah, same here. Although to be fair and everything, like after 2 and everything, like the fireworks display wasn't. Honestly, I think they made the right choice of making like fireworks display being like the last episode before getting to like the last stretch of the songs and such.
True, and actually, I don't know if this is true. Hold on, let me see. I think I might be right, but I have to do a double check. Let me see.
Go ahead and check.
This might be. Actually, I think I'm right. I think Songs from the Station was the very first video to include engine roll call on home video. Well, in terms
actually no.
In terms of ending the video with engine roll call.
Actually no, because I do remember that both like It's Great to Be an Engine and the Solar Celebrations. I do remember those VHSs also like. Had engine roll call at the end before the credits started rolling.
The DVD never had it, and I remember them from childhood. The DVD never had them. As soon as Circus ended, you just cut to the credits in the DVD. Interesting. So unless you had the DVD, unless you had the VHS, then Songs from the Station was the first DVD to have engine roll call at the end of the video.
Alright, well, I pretty much, you know what, like, pretty much, after this streaming session, I might have to take a look, just to, pretty much just double check, because now you're having me, pretty much, now you're having me, like, a question over here of, like, if I pretty much, like, Engine Roll Call was actually featured on those, like, 2 VHSs and DVDs that I just mentioned.
And like I said, Engine Roll Call is one of those songs, like, I never hated it. Was it overplayed?
Yeah, like, I never really hated it all that much, like, I do understand that, like, it was definitely, like, overplayed as heck and everything, but like overall, like it's not really like a bad way to like both start and end the series and such.
I will admit it was overplayed, and yeah, if you take away the vocals, there you go, Kick-Ass instrumental. But yeah, honestly, it's not that bad of a song. Even with the vocals on, it's not that bad. But I do wish they would have lowered down the volume of the vocals, because it's very high.
Yeah, yeah, it can be very high in some spots. All right, before we continue talking about Thomas,
and you guys may be wondering, what the heck, guys? Why is this becoming a Thomas stream all of a sudden? Well,
because I pretty much I do love Legend of Zelda, like. Basically with all my heart and everything, but I pretty much like, once in a while and everything, sometimes it kind of gets like, a little bit hard to like, pretty much come up with like a commentary like for the games and such after a while. But pretty much lucky for me, I could give a little commentary on this boss right here. So basically, as you just saw, for the first half of the boss and everything, all you really need to do is just like, use the fire rod to melt the ice and such. And then pretty much once that's done, all you really gotta do is just try, like, pretty much all you gotta do is just use your sword and swing against these, pretty much like, a Link to the Past version of the Kraken enemy from, like, the Kirby series and such. So basically, that's all you gotta do. Once you defeat all 3 clouds, you should be good to go and such. So, honestly, in terms of the difficulty of this boss, not really all that hard. Honestly, like, the hardest part, as you can see right here, are, like, the little ices that, like, drop on you from the ceiling and such. Pretty much once the ice, like, drops, it splits into, like, 4 little ices and such. And pretty much all you gotta do is just make sure that, like, those 4 little pieces of the ices don't hit you. And, you should be good to go. So, here we are. Like, that was the boss.
And besides, the shadow of the little icicle begins to show where it's gonna fall. Yes. So it's not that hard.
Yeah, so pretty much all you gotta do is just look at the shadow, move out of the way as best you can, and there you go. So, alright, Bonnie, here you go. This is the, this is one of the last, like, one of the last, like, maidens that we're gonna be saving before we get to the next dungeon.
Alright, here goes.
Theodore, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you.
Alright, let's see.
They say the Hyalea people control mysterious powers, as did the 7 wise men.
So they're all witches, they must burn.
But the blood of the Hyalea has become thin over time. We who carry the blood of the 7 wise men do not possess strong power anymore either.
Can you imagine if, like, there's like an actual conversation in real life where, like, people just, like, suddenly turn into, like, a William Shatner and everything, and just, like, and pretty much just, like, pause after every sentence, and you're just standing there being like, yes, blood of 7 goats? 7 hot dogs? 7 what?
I will admit, like, I'm not a big fan of this text style, because it's really annoying for somebody that's doing commentary.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, it's pretty annoying, but at the same time, if you have, like, another person doing a commentary with you, it can make for a very funny commentary.
That's fine, yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, and pretty much we also have to keep in mind, too, this was, like, back in the NES days and everything, where pretty much, like, not only that, but this was, like, still had to be, like, directly translated from, like, Japanese text as well, too.
That's true.
Our powers will increase if we mix the courage of the knights with the wisdom of the wise men. Only a short time remains until the gate of the castle linking the worlds opens completely. If you defeat Ganon, this world will vanish and the Triforce will wait for a new holder. I believe in you. Good luck!
Thanks, my lady. Yes, I understand. William Shatner.
May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
You got it. Alright. Alright, so, with Dungeon 5 down, good news. We actually do not have to do anything at all into the overworld right here. We pretty much we can now just go right ahead and skip straight to the 6th Palace. But in order to get to the 6th Palace, we are going to need the help of the trusty bird. And okay, so technically, there was a little white lie. There is a small thing we can't do in the overworld before we get to the sixth dungeon. But it's literally right next to the sixth dungeon at the same time, so pretty much here we are. So, alright, so before we do anything, alright, now this is the only way, for you to get to the sixth dungeon. Because, here, I'll even show it right here on the map. As you can see right here, unlike in the light world, this sixth palace is completely shut off. If you were to try to do it the normal way in the dark world and such. So the only way you could ever get to the sixth dungeon is by that teleportation in the light world, and only if you have the flute and have awakened the bird. If you have not done that yet, then you are not getting into that sixth palace anytime soon.
Huh,
Yeah.
so it's like the first game where you have to basically use the flute to get it to open.
Pretty much, yes. Pretty much, yes. That's a good comparison right there and such. And yeah, as you can see right here in the map, only 2 more dungeons to go. Alright, so
Yes, sir.
go ahead, you first.
No, I just said yes, sir.
So before we do anything, let's go right ahead into this mouth right here of the of this little creature. Wait for the bubbles to move. Take a mad dash. And in here, we got some these. And if we push this block, we got another heart piece. And not only that, but if you remember way back when we went to the Desert Palace, there was a little spot we could not get to via the normal way in the Light World. It was right into this area right here. And make sure I play it just right. So if we play... There we go. Alright. So if we move this right here, another secret patches. And from down here, another heart piece. So pretty much just do this puzzle right here, and there you go. And these are the only 2 heart pieces that you can get right now before you do the 6th palace. And good news, we're actually almost done with heart pieces as well too. We only have 2 more heart pieces left, and then we got all 4 of the heart containers that you can find in the overworld.
Awesome.
Yep. So, yep. Alright, so before we move on to the 6th palace, the game, once again, does offer you a hint as to, like, how to open up into the 6th palace in the form of a helper. So, let's go ahead and talk to this guy real quick. Let's see. Hey, I'll tell you a probable story if you pay me 20 rupees. Alrighty. Yeah, thank you. As a matter of fact, monster magic is making it rain in the swamp. If you can move the air with more force than the monsters, the rain may stop. And pretty much that's your hint as to how you can get into the 6th palace, which I'll show you. But first, go steal the shit. Hey, no fair, I stole that shit first. Okay, I think these are just all hearts. Alright. So pretty much in here. Let's move around and yeah, move away from those Dark World Zores. Right around. Let's see. Here it is. So right around here, if you notice, there's a little symbol right there. And gee, I wonder what we need to do in this spot right here. I can't think of anything I need to do, so you know what? I'm just gonna use my ether right here. Oh, let's you look at that. The rain stopped. Yes, but it will begin. Yes, but it will begin again soon. And what will become of my blue mail then? Just go in Dungeon Zelda. Okay. Wait a minute, not Zelda. I'm Link. Oh yeah. But anyway, alright, so welcome to the 6th Palace, aka like a Misery Mirror. And within this 6th Palace, we actually have, pretty much within the 6th Palace, not only is like, you know, the basement is like, you know, pretty short, like, you know, pretty much kind of like a less floor basement when compared to the others, but it is actually quite large, especially when you get to like, basement 1. But pretty much as I was saying, pretty much in this dungeon, it actually carries a old friend that we have not seen in a very long while, since the last Zelda game. Well, sorry, these guys. Look who's back! I don't know if you saw it. There he is! There he is again!
Wait, is that Wizrobes?
Yep, Wizrobes, they are back. Now, alright, now luckily I got some good news for you. Now luckily in this Legend of Zelda game, they don't move around. They do teleport, but they don't move around all that much. There are some Wizrobes that actually do, like, when they teleport, they only teleport into the exact same spot that they teleported beforehand. So if you know where they're going to show up and everything, then pretty much, like, you can take them down just easily and such. And thankfully, with our level 3 sword and everything, they actually go down in one hit and such. So pretty much, at least in terms of, like, this version of Legend of Zelda, the Wizrobes are much easier when compared to, like, pretty much when compared to, like, the NES Zelda game.
Yeah, I can tell that they were neutered for the better.
Yeah. They still, yeah. But make no mistake, because even as you saw, even with this blue mail that I'm wearing right now, they still do pack a lot of damage. They still do take about, like, 2 hearts worth of your damage and such.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much, like I said, make no mistake, they still can't hurt and such. So pretty much, like I said right here, like this dungeon right here, like it's fairly large and such, and you can definitely easily get lost and such if you're not. You can definitely easily get yourself lost and such. So pretty much, like, if you do not know where you're going and everything, like eventually you will find your way and everything, and you will, like, understand what you need to do in order to, like, get over to, like, you know, certain bosses or certain keys and certain rooms. But don't feel too bad if, like, you know, but pretty much don't feel too bad if it comes to a point where, like, you might have to look up a guide, like, just to make sure that, like, you're going the right way and such. And, yeah, pretty much the eyeballs are also back as well, too, joy. But luckily, as long as you're wearing the magic cape and everything, they won't be able to see you, so you should be A-okay right there. And, yeah, I can't go that way just yet. Yes. I think I should be okay. You know what? I'll use stick at the book. Ah, right, this part. But I don't think I could do anything just yet. Charge! Yeah, not yet. Alright, I'll come back, yeah, I'll come back over here later.
Do you have any just to pass the time?
Go ahead.
Do you have any Thomas stories? Or are you going to the store and you seeing 2 DVDs and you deciding, okay, which one should I get, this or this?
I have had like a couple moments of like going into like stores and like seeing a bunch of like Thomas DVDs and trying to sort out like which ones do I want and everything, and which ones do I already have and everything. 'Cause like I said, like there were a couple of like Thomas DVDs like I did see and everything, and I did not get like at first and everything. Like the big example like I'll give right now is like Henry and the Elephant and everything. Like that was one DVD I did not like get as a kid and everything, because like I already had like, you know, Henry and the Elephant in the forms of like 10 years of Thomas the Tank Engine and such. So I didn't so I really did not see any way I did not really see a need for me to like grab it and such. And pretty much that was the same way with like Percy Takes a Plunge and everything too. At first I did not get like Percy Takes a Plunge, because not only did I have that for like the Best of Percy like VHS and everything, but I also had like, you know, the take-along version of that DVD as well too. So pretty much I did not see the need of taking Percy Takes a Plunge just yet. But then sooner or later, like once I found out that like I don't know like what persuaded me to like take Percy Takes a Plunge on DVD, but once I did, and once I found out that like, you know, that DVD is just like, you know, a reprint.
Daisy.
Yeah, basically a reprint of like a Daisy for like the VHS and everything. And pretty much I was just like, oh, I see, okay. And I pretty much once I found that out, and like in my head and everything, I was just like, thinking to myself, being like, okay, so this is where Daisy ended up. Then I wonder if like, and I wonder if there's like any other like old like Thomas Media to where like pretty much is now under a different name and such. And pretty much like lo and behold, like once I found out like what happened to like Galileo Engine, and that like it got rebranded to Henry and the Elephant. As soon as I saw Henry and the Elephant again, I knew in my mind, okay, yep, I'm taking you right now.
Okay. Did you have any occasions where you had two DVDs and that you were like, should I take this or should I take this one?
As far as I know, no. I did not had any like I did not had any moments like quite similar to like what you had with like Song of the Stations and the early years.
Okay, just wondering because
Yeah.
Because that was the fun of it back then. Because you didn't have internet back then. Well, unless you had a computer, but computers weren't portable back then. And even then, if they were portable, they were crap. So
Yeah. And pretty much even that, and even back then, and everything like I pretty much was the same thing with like video games as well too. Back then, and everything like I pretty much whatever kind of money you and your parents like felt like spending that time and everything, like you had to make sure that like whatever you were getting back then was going to be worth it in the end and such.
And most of my Thomas DVDs were worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that I almost have every DVD. I only have like 3 or 4 that I'm missing. Some for understandable reasons, and others I ignored it because of the cover.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, one of them was actually James Goes Buzz Buzz. I think you saw that in the store at one point.
I did. Actually, I saw it in the store, and I did get it. Actually, I pretty much did get that. So I was very glad that I got that because pretty much like I said, Jane, and yeah, that's another thing about like the pros and cons with some of these like classic like model series DVDs and everything is that like once some of the episodes got like reworked, or at least like got like moved to like other DVDs and VHS and everything. It did make some of like the old VHS and DVDs kind of like not only necessarily like hard, but it also kind of made it to like basically to where like you're looking at the DVD and you're saying to yourself, well, what's the point of getting this DVD if I already had like pretty much the episode itself on like the other DVD beforehand.
Well, think again, because some of those never got re-released afterwards.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, well, to me at least, it wasn't that I had them already. It's just the covers turned me off for good because
Mm-hmm.
I was so disgusted by Thomas Gets Tricked.
Yeah.
Not bad in terms of the cover is awful, like visually awful. No, it's a cool cover, but it's very misleading.
It is.
If you know what.
Pretty much it is. It definitely is. And honestly, like even way back when, like back in the day, like I pretty much even back then, like the very first like cover of like Thomas Gets Tricked was pretty much like I had a picture of like Thomas from like Save and Scrap and everything. So pretty much you're almost kind of thinking, oh cool, Save and Scrap is in this VHS, should be in this tape too, right? Nope. And
you get disappointed.
Yeah.
To me, I really got angry because at that time I believe, I think I might have had Jet Engine one time, but I lost it. At the time, I didn't have it. At the time, I didn't have Jet Engine.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting that, thinking, oh cool, Thomas and the Jet Engine is gonna be on it. Finally, my favorite episode of the entire show. And then when I pop it on, and it's basically Thomas Gets Tricked with the season 1 episode, I'm like,
no.
No, that wasn't my reaction. It was complete silence. And when I was completely silent back then, you did something very wrong.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And that disgusted me so much that I basically completely ignored everything else. Like Rusty to the Rescue, ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
James Goes Buzz Buzz, ignored it. I did make an exception for Percy Takes the Plunge because I thought the cover looked cool. And then when I popped it in, I'm like, oh, wait a moment. is the episode here? And then I saw it at the very end. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I didn't get tricked this time.
And pretty much, you know what? Like, you know that. Okay, you know what? Like, pretty much before we continue on a little bit, pretty much I just want to say, like, you know, how much of a dick move would that be and everything? Like, pretty much not only, like, you know, do you have, like, you know, a cover of the episode that's, like, not actually featured in the DVD, but you also have the title of it, and it's not featured in the DVD either and such. Like, how much of a dick move would that be? Like, pretty much that right there. That's just like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Yeah.
100%. And honestly, I noticed working on the thing I was working on. I'm not going to mention what it is, guys, because I'm going to keep it secret until the end of the stream.
Yes.
But doing my research, I noticed that by the time of 2007, that's when Anchor Base started to become very lazy with their covers.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
And they give up completely because 2007 comes in and they completely give up in terms of giving the menu's narration. And it's just Thomas going in, and then you hear you don't hear any narration.
Yeah.
They got extremely lazy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, so that explains why I was very disappointed in this era.
Yeah. All right.
They got. Go ahead.
Pretty much as you can see right here, we have a very long, like, narrow hallway and such. And we actually do have another voice to talk to us, but it's not Zelda this time. So pretty much like I can give Body a little bit of a break.
Thank God.
It is I, Sasha Shalala, the Elder. You must set fire to 4 torches to open the way forward. So yeah, like during the commentary, if you guys have noticed about like these 4 torches right there, we actually do have to light them up. And you actually do have to make sure that, like, you push these blocks in, like, the correct order and such. But friend Nar, like, if you do mess up and everything, like, say, like, you accidentally push a block into the wrong place and everything, then all you gotta do is just, like, go downstairs, go back upstairs, and the place will, like, you know, reset itself for you and such. So, yeah, pretty much, like, yeah, before we light the torches, we gotta make sure that we do this first. And pretty much, like, yeah, the Whisk Ropes will be there to, like, cause you some trouble. But like I said, like, as long as you know, like, how to deal with them and everything and where they're gonna pop up, then you should be A-okay.
What was the one release that you felt was very lackluster?
Lackluster? Honestly, you know what, like, it's kind of a little bit of ironic for me saying this and everything, but, honestly, I think the most lackluster, like, not only DVD cover, but just like Thomas DVD menus in general, was definitely Rusty to the Rescue.
I've never seen that one because remember, that's when I gave up on the cover. That's when I gave up. So
pretty much like the DVD cover of like Rusty to the Rescue. Pretty much.
I know about the cover, the DVD cover. I saw
like
it in the store.
Basically the title screen for like Rusty to the Rescue and everything. Like pretty much it's just the same as like. You know, there's the stations, the top of Manhattan's there, and for some reason, Rusty, who is now standard gauge, is also there.
I think I did see it once on YouTube because I got curious and I'm like, don't tell me they did it. Don't tell me they made Rusty standard gauge. I looked it up.
Okay, to be honest, like, it's probably not standard gauge that they made Rusty and everything. Like, it's probably just more so that, like, we could say that, like, you know, they just made him look a little bit bigger than usual, but that's probably because of, like, but that's probably because, like, maybe, like, more, like, due to an error or something, we don't know. But pretty much, like, yeah. In terms of, like, you know, title screens that were very lazy and everything, Rusty to the Rescue is definitely up there, in my opinion.
Well, to me, in terms of DVD menus, I will say it's a tie because there's a bunch of crappy ones, in my opinion. So for now, because this might change, for now it's a tie with all of the season 5 DVDs, all of them. Yep. And why, you may ask?
Oh, yeah, because of, like, no bonus features in terms of, like, games and such.
There's no game. Well, remember, this was when DVDs were brand new.
Yeah.
So they were still getting used to the format, you know, how to make games for it, you know. So I can give them a slight pass, but looking back on them now, that's like that's like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sorry folks, but yeah, this is, you lost me. So it's a tie between all of them.
Nah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. And we got
But
the map to this dungeon,
not
so-
counting. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I was just saying we got the map to this dungeon, and we're almost done. Like, we're almost done with this map, and we're almost done like completing it as well too. So all we got left to do is just get like not only the very last dungeon item in this game, but okay, actually I shouldn't say the last dungeon item is second to last, or at least third to last. But pretty much like as soon as we get this dungeon item, we're gonna get all of the items, at least the trans of the green bar. We'll get all of these items filled up and such.